bonds get killed when interest rates go up, Josh. Don't you know this? Well, where's the evidence? Show me the evidence of that. I'd love to see it. Show me the evidence of bonds getting killed. You can use individual bonds. You can use bond funds. Show me the evidence of bonds getting killed when interest rates go up. Now, I've already said, the most volatile bonds you can get are long-term, low-coupon bonds. So if you want to show me volatility, you have to show me a zero-coupon government 30-year Treasury bond. I don't even know if they issue those anymore. I don't even know if they ever did. I don't know. A zero coupon means you have literally no coupon. You buy it at a significant discount to maturity. All right, so basically it matures 30 years from now at $100,000. You pay $70,000 today and you get $100,000 upon maturity. That's called a zero coupon bond. There's no coupon snipping like the old bond used to do. You just know you're not really making any interest. It's all inferred interest, if that makes sense. And off the top of my head, I can't remember the taxation of that. It seems like a zero coupon bond you want in an IRA. I just don't quote me on that. I think that's true. I think there's imputed income, inferred income, and you have to pay interest. You have to pay income on the interest that you don't get, if memory serves. But never been a bond expert, but I think that's the way it works. So anyway, long-term, long maturities, lower the coupon, the more volatile the bonds are going to be. There's something about credit history too. I think credit rating. For some reason I got higher credit rating. I'm not sure that's true, but anyway, I do know for a fact that the lower the coupon, the longer the maturity, those are the most volatile bonds out there. All right, so let's go back to this. So it's 1972. You and I are talking. I got $100,000 on a CD that just matured, or I sold the house, or I won freaking Jeopardy, or the Price is Right, or whatever it is. I got $100,000 sitting in cold hard cash. I'm going to invest that sucker. All right, so I put $100,000 in a 10-year Treasury. All right, which means my coupon is a newly issued 10-year Treasury, has a coupon. I think they were 5% back then. Let's just use that for an example. So I know, without fail, because the 10-year government or the government bonds cannot go bankrupt. It's impossible. That come 1981, after 10 years, I'm going to get my principal back, $100,000, and over the course of those 10 years, I will have made $5,000 a year of income, of interest. So that's 5 times 10, that's $50,000. All right, put $100,000 in, I walk away with $150. That's how that works. Pretty simple, all right? But you say, no, man, no. Inflation. I'm worried about inflation. Nixon, the gold standard, all that crap. So you're going to wait a year. And so you wait till 1973 to put $100,000 into a 10-year Treasury. 1973, 10-year Treasuries are paying 7%. We'll just use that for an example. That might be pretty close to what they were back then, actually. I just, off the top of my head, I can't remember. All right. So now you got $100,000, right? Earning $7,000 a year for the next 10 years. So you'll make $70,000 of income. And in 1983, you'll get $100,000 back. So you have $170,000 when all's said and done, where I only had $150,000. Of course, that year, 1972, where you're sitting idle on your cash, you didn't make any money, all right? That year, 1983, when you're still in the bond market, I could have done something with that bond. It just happened to be a pretty doggone good year in the stocks. Just to give an example. On top of that, 1983, I think the 10-year at that point was like 9. Be it as it may, when did I get killed? Never got killed. Did the price of that 10-year Treasury go down? Yeah, for a little bit. In 1973, because a bond that was paying me $5,000 a year in income simply is not as valuable as the newly issued bonds that are paying $7,000 a year in income. So my $5,000 is worth less on an annual basis than your $7,000. So inherently, for someone to pay $100,000 to earn $7,000 in income, they're not going to pay $100,000 to earn $5,000 in income. Thus, the price of my bond will drop. Hope that makes sense. That's literally how these things work. All right, what happens though? Nothing. Nothing. If I don't sell the bond, who cares? Because I know for a fact, unlike you who say that markets always come back, talk about stocks, I know for a fact, whatever the price dropped to, it will come back and I'll get my $100,000 par value back. So I never get killed, ever. Short term, a little bit. How much? A little bit. Is that an issue? Nope. But it might be if you need to liquidate it. Do you get killed? No. No, you don't. Have you lost relative to inflation? Yes. Yes, you have. Because in the 70s, inflation came back like a monster. Well, for the first time really in our history. All right, so then we say, okay, so now my bond matured in 1982. Inflation, woo-wee, is a beast. Interest rates are much higher. So now I'm going to lock in another 10-year treasury, but this time I'm getting 9%. That's $9,000 a year, guaranteed income. Guaranteed income. Until 82? No, I think 82, they're paying 14%. But you get where I'm going with this. The next 10 years, I'm making 14, 10,000, whatever the interest rates were, for the next 10 years. What were interest rates doing at that point? Dropping like a brick in water. So the time 1990s roll around, 10-year treasury is back to paying 4 and 5. That's it. So what happened to the price of my bond? Nothing. Stayed at $100,000. Stayed at $100,000. Could I have sold it in 1983 and 84 for a higher price than $100,000? Sure. But then comes the forever question, what do I do with it? That's the whole point, man. So you don't get killed in bonds. Now people say, well, bond funds do. Again, show me the evidence, man. Show me the evidence that bond funds get killed. 94, 99, various years in the 70s. Anything significant? No. Anything that wasn't made up the following year? No. Anything that should worry me? No. They just don't get killed. Could they? If they go default, sure. Absolutely. If they default, your bonds could get killed. Governments default? No, they don't. It's impossible for a government to default, a U.S. government. Now, people say, well, they can monetize a debt. All right, that's not default, though, is it now? They can inflate their way out of having to pay the higher interest. Yeah, that's true. But that's not, if you're worried about that now, where you been? So at the end of the day, just show me where bonds get killed. You know, I've done videos using I think it's the Franklin Putnam Income Fund. Fidelity has a bond fund. You can look back at their year-over-year performance, and you can see now on an annual basis, the numbers just weren't bad. They just weren't. They didn't get killed. Let me get are there any down years? Sure. Down year of 8, 9, 10% down isn't getting killed, man. Not by a stretch of the imagination. They keep up with inflation? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Did stocks keep up with inflation in the 70s? No, that's the whole point, man. Stocks get taken on their chin in 73, 74, 78? Yes. They just keep up with inflation? No. Bonds taken on the chin, 73, 74, 78? No. They keep up with inflation? No. So if you're worried about inflation and you're worried about interest rates going up, and you're sitting there thinking, I'm not going to touch bonds, I'll touch stocks? That doesn't make any sense. Or I'll just leave it in cash, wait till the interest rates settle in. All right, well, you can do that, but there is this thing called opportunity cost. You still have to bear the brunt of inflation, but now you're not getting any interest at all. So going back to the guy in 1972 who waited till 1973, he got a better deal in that he waited and the interest rates happened to go up, but he still has a year on both sides of that equation, of that trade. In 1972, he made no money. In 1980, when 1983 rolled around, he was still in bonds. And I wasn't. Now, I could have been. If I was, I'm, like I said, at 14, I think the 10-year in 1982 is at 14%. Not a bad place to be. I'd love to hear your thoughts.